Hello, hello, hello! My name is Miranda from Twinkle, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a great application to an online ESL teaching job so that you can find a job that you love teaching English online. And make sure you stay tuned to the end because I'm going to teach you specifically how to avoid a scam school, because I'm guessing you don't want to work for a scam school. That would be awful. No, don't do that. So I'm going to teach you how to avoid scams. So stay tuned until the end. Okay, so in this session, we're going to learn why a good CV is so important to your application, how to write a great CV that will get you hired, mistakes to avoid, and also how to avoid applying for a scam school that takes advantage of you as a teacher. So the first thing is, I want you to imagine that you're a recruiter for an online school, and every day you have to look through hundreds of CVs. You have very little time to make a judgment on each candidate as to whether they're suitable for your school or not. So basically, you as a candidate have about 30 seconds or 1 minute to persuade your recruiter that you are a candidate worth looking at. So you need to get their attention really fast. And there's two ways that you can do that. The first thing is you make it easy for the recruiter to get the information that they need. And the second thing you do is you show that you care. You put a lot of time and attention into each application so that the recruiter can see, wow, this person has given me time, so they deserve a little bit of time in return. If you're applying for 20 jobs a day and just like sending your CV out everywhere without giving time and attention to each single application, you're not going to get a job because it looks really obvious that you're just spamming recruiters. Yeah. So to make a great online teaching CV, make sure that you send a Word doc and not a PDF. Now, this is surprising to a lot of people, me included, because normally with official documents, it's better to send a PDF. But when you're sending an online teaching CV, send a Word doc. And the reason for this is because that when recruiters get your information, they need to put it into their database. And it's a lot easier for them if you send your information in a Word document. So make sure you send a Word doc. The second thing is, don't worry about making a super fancy CV with text boxes and colors and different fonts and columns. It doesn't need to look like that. It just needs to be straightforward with a simple format. Make sure that you're writing considering that your reader might not speak English as their first language. So, make sure that it's very readable. You're avoiding very long sentences too. For the information on your CV, keep it simple and keep it relevant. You need to think about your experience over the last 10 years maximum. Anything you did more than 10 years ago is not relevant. So for example, I worked in a cheese shop when I was 16, but I'm not going to put that on my CV because knowing lots about cheese doesn't make me a better teacher. Well, maybe, but yeah. So keep it to the last 10 years and keep it to what is relevant. Just put your job, what your responsibilities were, and also why you left. That's important as well. So the next thing is about your picture that you attach to your CV. Make sure it's a picture that you would be happy to hang in your home, rather than a picture that you would use as a passport photo or if you got arrested by the police and you're going to prison, okay? So it needs to be a photo where you're smiling, you look friendly, and you look ready to teach. Make sure that you look professional. Don't wear your pajamas in your teaching photo. And if you're sending a video, make sure that it's a short video and it's a small file size. So it should be 1 minute maximum. All you have to say is, hello, my name is my name. And I love teaching because whatever reason, and my qualifications are da 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 da, and I'm really excited to work in your school. And that's it. Just 1 minute video, and make sure it's a small file size as well, or it's not going to get to the recruiters that you need to see your video. Another top tip is that you can always record your video and put it on YouTube and send recruiters the YouTube link, or even make your own special website with a lot of different videos to look super, super, super professional. That's a pretty top tip. Okay, so you can get a template for your online CV for free from M2R Education. So go to their website, search for the CV. You can download it and fill it in with your information. And it's super basic formatting, quality of information over quantity. And my personal advice is try to keep it to 1 page maximum so that the recruiter can see in about 30 seconds if you have the qualifications and the experience that you need to have to get this job. So keep it short, keep it simple. Now, some common mistakes to avoid. Firstly, make sure that you name your file properly. So don't call your CV or resume, or my favorite that I've seen is final CV. It doesn't look professional. So just call your CV your name, teaching CV. So for example, Joe Bloggs teaching CV should be the name of Joe Bloggs' teaching CV. And make sure it is your CV that you are sending employers, not something more personal. You think I'm kidding, but I've heard stories of people sending all kinds of personal documents to employers. So please make sure you don't do this. Make sure that if you update your CV, your formatting is consistent. So don't change the font in the middle of your CV, or change the text size. Make sure that all your formatting is consistent. Again, don't send large file sizes because they won't get to your recruiter. See if you can apply directly to the company portal, or if you can, contact one of their recruiters on LinkedIn. Just send them a message and say, "Hi, I'm interested in applying for your company. Can I do it through you?" And that will make sure that your application won't get stuck in a spam folder or some dusty cupboard where no one is ever going to find it. And finally, take your online reviews with a pinch of salt. Some teachers are really unhappy with their school because they didn't get any students. But often the reason they didn't get any students is just because they're not great at teaching. It's not the school's fault. On the other hand, a lot of schools pay for reviewers to say nice things about them on YouTube or on other websites. So you have to realize that sometimes the videos that you're watching about how great a school is have been paid for by the school. So that is really one to look out for. And finally, avoid working for a scam school. There are several ways that you can do this. Make sure that you analyze the interview process. Are they organized? If your interview process is really smooth, really professional, then the chances are that that school is professional and smoothly run. But if your interview process is a nightmare, if they seem disorganized, they probably are disorganized. So you might want to think twice about working for those disorganized schools. Avoid schools that don't need you to have a proper TEFL qualification. So China now makes it a requirement for all teachers to be qualified from the very beginning of classes. So if your employer says to you, "Oh, just wait 3 months and get your qualification later," that's probably not a good sign because they're not really following the laws as they should. And finally, you can join the company Facebook group to get some really, really honest reviews about what it's like to work for that company, and also get some good lesson ideas and fun activities to do with your future students as well. Cool, that's it. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned something new that will help you get a really, really good teaching job for your online classes. And I will see you at twinkle.co.uk. Bye bye for now.